This is a Lit Media presentation. What up, everybody? It is I, Jay Smooth from Lit Media, and today we're going to talk about it. Good God Almighty, what an episode! So, today we got season 5, episode 5 of Power Book 3 Raising Canaan, and man, did we have a doozy. When I say a doozy, I really mean it. Like, tensions are getting heated up, and this is episode 5. But first, I want to give a shout out. Um, you know, 50 Cent has done a great job with the OGs as far as bringing classic OG actors and directors in. And I want to talk about how this episode was directed by Mario Van Peebles. Mario Van Peebles is a renaissance man when it comes to film and television and has been in it since he was a kid as his dad, Melvin Van Peebles, directed the black movie Badass no, Sweetback's Badass Song way back in the 70s. And then Mario Van Peebles actually remade the movie. Well, he made a movie about the making of that movie, playing his father. And that movie's name was just Badass. So definitely shout out to Mario Van Peebles. Dude is on his craft and he don't get enough love. So I'm giving you your flowers, my brother. Well, whew, it's been a lot going on this episode. So, last episode we had Kanan and Breeze bonding over the murder of Taz. And, well, it looks like that's still happening. Kanan and Breeze killed again. You know, uh, Kanan pulled up. The delivery guy didn't know who he was. He gave Kanan some flack. And instead of just handling himself, he called Breeze, which I thought was kind of weird, but I understand because, hey, maybe the introduction needs to be done. But instead of just, hey, man, my bad, nah, they totally beat that man to death in the street. I ain't gonna lie, I thought that was a little over the top. I understand these things that do happen and have happened, but once again, I think that was a little over the top. Um, Funny though, but since they're not really brothers and Kanan know they're not brothers, so I wonder how that story is going to unfold. But that was that was an issue. So that's what happened with that, and I hope they don't keep doing that stuff. But yeah, that was interesting. But moving on, Rock met with Pino and she is totally denying that she was involved in an assassination attempt of Marchetti, which is smart. You never want to admit to trying to take out a mob boss because it doesn't matter how much drugs you move or how much dope you move or what you do in the street or how many people you done killed, made men are protected. So that was smart. Her outright denying it. Not everybody knows that's what happened, but denying it means, hey, she said she didn't have nothing to do with it. She didn't have nothing to do with it. Which brings me to my next topic is that, you know, Pino went ahead and met with Marchetti and they had a meeting about it. And Marchetti talked about Rock and this, that, and the other. And, Marchetti said what he had to say, but Pino was like, hey, man, I understand it's a problem, but she said she didn't have nothing to do with that. So Pino protected his investment with Raquel, and he basically is saying that, hey man, don't touch her. So Marchetti's gonna have to get creative because Marchetti can't start a war over an outside party. He doesn't want to do that, even though they getting paid. So we'll see what happens with that next. But Pino going to bat for Rock, I don't know, man. I don't trust him, but I guess it's all about the money. So I'm gonna have to assume that's what this is. So I guess we'll just have to see. Um, and another thing is Kanan met with Marquetti as well. So Kanan met with Marquetti, and Marquetti was basically saying, "Hey man, your mom tried to kill me." He was like, "Oh, for real? I don't have nothing to do with that." He said, "Hey man, I might have to do it." He said, "Man, do what you got to do." But he's like, "Fuck, they got to do with me." Kanan don't care. Like this 16, 17, maybe 18-year-old kid. I don't know how old Kanan is at this point. Um, he don't care. Like, and I like that they're making him this way because it really shows how the next generation took to gangsterism and made a change. Because take Uncle Marvin, for instance. He's a killer, he's a drug dealer, but he operates off of a code. And it shows the decline in code of ethics for gangsterism from Uncle Marvin to Kanan. And that's very important because that's what really has happened in these streets. I'm not saying that crime is good or any way in any faction. However, we have to be real here. This country was founded on crime, murder, kidnapping, rape, theft, you know? So telling somebody they shouldn't do something to survive is kind of hypocritical when that's exactly what the people that run the country did and still are doing it. Like still lying, still stealing. I think this dumb fuck president of ours has made over $3 billion since he started his current term. That's supposed to be illegal. But what a white man has showed us is that they can do whatever they want and get away with it, even be a pedophile. Real sad. So out here in these streets, gangsters had a code of ethics back in the day. Hey, we don't sell to kids. We don't do this. We don't do that. We don't kill kids. We don't kill women unless they're involved. If most, women was off limits. People's mamas off limits. I mean, there were so many boundaries that you shouldn't cross in these streets. So showing the change of the guard between Uncle Marvin and the on to Kanan and his generation is, even Snaps and Pops, which I had backwards last week. So I thought Pops was the guy and Snaps was the girl, but it's actually the other way around. So Snaps is the guy and Pops is the lady. So anyway, my mistake. But yeah, so Pino met with Marchetti, Kanan met with Marchetti, and things get ugly because um, Breeze and Kanan got some work done this episode, and it wasn't pretty. So, Breeze and Kanan cooked up a scheme, and basically, Breeze took out Rock's plug, straight up killed him in the bathroom. That's gonna throw a major monkey wrench in Rock's operation. If she ain't got no plug, her plug is dead. Tisk, I wonder how she's gonna bounce back from this because you can't sell no dope if you ain't got no plug, right? So once they run out of bricks, what they gonna do? That's Now getting the plug is pretty easy. I'm gonna have to assume, when there's money to be made, there's always somebody that's gonna take it. So I feel like she's gonna find another plug, but you know, Breeze and Kanan backed her into her spot. So we're gonna see how she gets out of this one. But once again, season 5, episode 5. This is the 5th episode of the season, meaning we have 5 episodes left. And this is really setting up the rest of the season. So I don't really think we're gonna see Ghost and Tommy. Probably the last two episodes, maybe, because it's really not about them. We know that they came up under Kanan, so I'm gonna leave that at that. I don't know how this season is gonna end. I don't even know if Breeze is gonna get killed. If we're gonna see that, but we know this is the last season of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. So I assume that this ends with Snaps and Pops and Breeze dead. I'm assuming, but I guess we'll find out. Shit, shit gets out of hand because Rock sends Marvin to kidnap one of Kanan's delivery guys. And while they're torturing him and beating him and eventually killing him, Marvin is like, why are we doing this? This shit don't have nothing to do with nothing. He doesn't know anything. So Rock takes it upon herself. She shoots the guy multiple times. And then she tells Marvin that Kanan killed Lou. She didn't put any context in it either. She didn't say it was by accident like it was, because it was by accident. She didn't say anything. She didn't say, hey, Kanan was actually about to kill me. Lou and such surprised him. He turned around and shot. Lou got shot. But she didn't do any of that. So you already know what happened next. So Marvin basically went and dog walked Kanan. Dog walked the shit out of him. That man reached from the ancestors and beat the dog shit out of him. So let me let me set this up. So after Marvin is informed by Rock that Kanan killed Lou, Kanan's gearing up to go handle some business because of his delivery guy getting hemmed up. He's about to go handle that. He's about to go see what's happening with that. And while he's there, Jukebox is there. Who doesn't know either? So the next thing you know, Marvin is blamming on the door. He beating on the door, like, open this door. They open the door. Immediately, from the depths of his spirit, like my man Cal at the barbershop said the other day, he reached from the depth of his spirit and smacked knocked the shit out of Kanan. And it was on. Kanan didn't have a chance. Kanan, he got his ass whooped. Well deserved ass whooping. He almost killed him, but Jukebox stopped Marvin from killing Kanan. So maybe that puts a time on Marvin. Maybe Uncle Marvin is gone. Maybe about episode 8. I don't know yet. We're gonna see. But the episode ended on that ass whooping. So yeah. And the crazy party after that ass whooping, the credits roll with James Brown's "The Big Payback" playing. It's absolute comedy. But this was no laughing matter. Marvin dog walked the shit out of Kanan, and that's all I can say about that. Well deserved. I mean, Kanan he been doing his thing this season, but man, him killing Lou is man. I don't know why they even wrote that in there, but I guess I gotta understand it. I guess Lou had to die. I didn't want him to, but that makes a lot of sense. Like in the OG Power universe, years after all this stuff has happened, you never see Lou, you never see Marvin. Um, and when he meets with Jukebox, you know, she asked him how's your mom or whatever, or whoever. Somebody asked him how his mom was doing. So I'm assuming Rock lives, but I guess we'll find out. But I don't know, man. Marvin Dog walked the shit out of that dude, and it wasn't pretty at all. So, yo, this has been my review of Power, Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 5, Episode 5, which ended with Uncle Marvin absolutely beating the shit out of Kanan for killing Uncle Lou. Well deserved. Even though I love Kanan's character, he deserved that. Kanan is a piece of shit. We know this. But Kanan is a gangster and he's ruthless. And this is what this show is establishing where that came from and how that started. So I'll be with you next week. I didn't want to put this out too early because one thing that I don't like about YouTube reviews is that as soon as a movie or a TV show episode drops or a movie comes out, these guys have their reviews up the same day. Give people a chance to watch the shit first. 2 or 3 days, man. Then put your reviews out. Now, will other people beat me to putting out a review? Sure. But I feel like let people watch the episode. Everybody doesn't watch it as soon as it comes out. I didn't watch it until Saturday. Um, or maybe it was yesterday. I don't even remember. No, I watched it yesterday. I don't even think it was Saturday. No, hold on. I watched it Saturday. Um, and I meant to record this on Sunday, but I didn't. Had a lot going on, and but anyway, that's not important. I give the episode or the movie time to breathe. I hate it when these YouTubers put out a review as soon as the shit drops. That's corny. Like Evil Dead Burn dropped on Friday, really Thursday night. People already got reviews out on Friday and Saturday. Like, bro, give the movie time to breathe. But with that being said, this has been Jay Smooth for Lit Media signing off. Remember you to shut up and PTFO. And thank you for those watching. We appreciate it. This has been a Lit Media presentation brought in part by Lit Gang.